Welcome to a new edition of High Five. I am your host, the one, the only, the second Irish Bandit. This past season on the CW network, Riverdale debuted, and wow, what a change it was to the Archie comics that I grew up with, because Riverdale is loosely based on the Archie comics. Well, I don't want to say loosely because, it has the same character names. You have Archie, Veronica, Jughead, Betty, Reggie, Moose, Dilton, and a whole bunch of new characters that we're going to get to know, or may get to know, depending on everything that happened at the end of this season. So I've already talked a lot about Riverdale. I'm going to talk more about Riverdale as time goes on, and today on High Five, we are looking at 5 theories that I have about Riverdale's second season. Now, from here on out, there are spoiler warnings. So, if you have not watched the first season of Riverdale, you can go on the CW app. You can watch all 13 episodes, or you can go on Netflix. All 13 episodes are now streaming on that as well. If you've already watched Riverdale, then let's just get right into it. The first theory that I have: one of the lodges was involved with the shooting of Fred Andrews. At the end of season 1, we saw the tragic consequence of what happened to Fred Andrews. He was shot by a masked mugger who broke into Pop's chocolate shop, held Pop at gunpoint demanding money, but then turned his attention to Fred Andrews. This was not a random incident. This was not a random holdup, and even Jughead said the same thing at the end of the episode, saying that this act of violence was far from random. And I think one of the lodges had something to do with that. In fact, I'm pretty sure one of the lodges had something to do with it. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was Hermione getting back at Fred for turning down her offer to buy him out, or if it was Hiram getting back at Fred for making moves on Hermione. It could be either one of them, but I am 100% sure that one of the lodges had something to do with it. I know for sure that it wasn't Veronica. Veronica would not do that to Archie. She loves Fred. But I think it was one of her parents. I'm 100% certain that it was one of her parents. I don't know who, but if you watched the first season as it went on, I got more... When we were trying to find out who the killer of Jason Blossom was, by mid-season, I was like, okay, it has to be one of the Blossoms. I don't know if it's Penelope or if it's Clifford, but it was one of the Blossoms. I was right, it was Clifford Blossom the whole time. So I loved that little twist, how they did that. But yeah, one of the Blossoms had Fred shot. My second theory about season 2 is that we have not seen the last of Jennifer Gibson or Geraldine Grundy, whatever you want to call her. So when I heard the general outline of what Riverdale was going to be about, and I heard that Archie and Miss Grundy were going to have a relationship, my first thought was, ew, Miss Grundy's so old. And then I saw the actress who played Miss Grundy, and I was like, damn. Yeah, they made Miss Grundy a whole lot younger, but they did this for a reason, because the Miss Grundy in Miss Riverdale actually took the name of a deceased older lady named Geraldine Grundy when she was escaping her old life, and her real name is Jennifer Gibson. So, halfway through season 1, Geraldine, or Jennifer, whoever you want to call her, left Riverdale, but I think she's going to come back, because now season 2 of Riverdale is going to be a full 22 episodes. So I think we are going to see her pop up again sometime soon. I don't know when. I would personally keep this for like mid-season, like after the mid-season break, have her return. But she is. I have a strong feeling that she is going to return, and it's going to turn Archie's life upside down, especially Archie's relationship with Veronica. So we'll have to see where that goes from there. But I am 100% certain. I shouldn't say 100% certain, but I'm very certain that Jennifer Gibson, Geraldine Grundy, whoever you want to call her, is coming back to Riverdale. And now, speaking of Archie and Veronica, the third theory that I have, one of our favorite relationships is not going to last. So Archie and Veronica getting together was no big shock to me because, that's how it is in the comic. Betty and Jughead, on the other hand, was a big shock to me because if you've read the comic book like I have, you know Jughead did not like women. He preferred his burgers over his babes. And he just had nothing to do with them. But he did say in one comic that if he was Archie and he had to choose, he would have chose Betty. So that does make sense in this situation. So I really think that one of these relationships is not going to last. I don't know. They could both end up in the gutter, honestly. Like, you have everything that happened with Fred at the end of season 1, where Archie just has to distance himself from the lodges, which means distancing himself from Veronica. But on the other hand, at the end of season 1, you had Betty and Jughead together, and then the Southside Serpents came to Jughead's father's trailer and handed him a serpent's jacket, and he put it on. And you saw the look of sadness and just general unknown feelings that came over Betty when he put that jacket on. So where is this going to leave Archie and Veronica and Jughead and Betty? So I really think one of these relationships will not be lasting, and I hate to say it because they're so perfect together and I love them together, because Cole Sprouse and Lily Reinhart just have amazing chemistry. I don't think Bughead's going to last, and that really upsets me because they're so perfect together. But again, these are all theories. I don't know if anything's going to happen, but we'll have to wait and see when season 2 comes around. I can't wait. My fourth theory is Mrs. Andrews a Blossom? So in the season 1 finale, we found out that the Coopers are actually descendants of the Blossoms, which made for some real big weirdness when we found out that Polly and Jason were actually blood relatives. Okay, we were all thinking that twincest thing between Jason and Cheryl, but this just caught us right off guard. Like, it caught me right off guard. Blah! But one thing that has stuck in my mind is Mary Andrews a Blossom descendant as well, because she has the red hair and she had passed the red hair on to Archie. So does this make Archie a descendant of the Blossoms as well? This one may be a far-fetched one, and I hope we see Molly Ringwald again in season 2, because she was just amazing in season 1 when she showed up and, hey, hi Archie, Mom. So I hope we see more of her, because her and Luke Perry looked so great together. And then you had the scene at the prom when you had Fred, Marissa, don't know where that came from. We had Fred, Hermione, and Mary walk into the prom together. They look so good together, especially Fred and Mary. So yeah, hopefully, I hope that we see more of Mary Andrews in season 2. I think she's going to show up, given what happened with Fred at the end of season 1. She's going to show up. She's got to show up to support Archie and to support Fred as well. So, but just keep it in the back of your mind. Is Mary Andrews and to an extent Archie relatives of the Blossoms? That would be a nice little twist that I'd like to see myself. And finally, my fifth theory about Riverdale has to do with F.P. Jones. Near the end of season 1, F.P. Jones was arrested for a crime he did not commit, the murder of Jason Blossom. So now, with all this revelation about the heroin being smuggled into Riverdale through Clifford Blossom's maple syrup business, what will happen now? Because Chief Keller has just been really pressing FP and pressing him hard about names, about who's dealing the drugs in Riverdale. If it's the Southside Serpents, and FP is quite adamant that it is not the Serpents who is selling these drugs. So, will FP flip and get a better deal, or will he stick to his guns and will he not give any names? Because I can see it where he actually does, to protect himself, start giving names, which will cause dissension in the Serpents with Jughead, which could lead to the breakup between him and Betty. I don't know, but I can see that happening. Or he could just stick to his guns and do the 20 years in prison. So we'll have to see how it all turns out. I don't know which way I want that to go, honestly, whether he should give names or if he should stick to his guns. I'll have to see how this turns out, but I can't wait for Season 2. It is coming back October 11th. It's going to be changing days. It used to be on Thursdays on the CW. Now it's moving to Wednesdays on the CW. And it'll be airing Thursdays on Netflix here in Canada. So I cannot wait. Season 1 was so good, and I hate having high expectations when I go into a new season. Sometimes it's not met. But we'll see what happens in Season 2. And those are my 5 theories about Season 2 of Riverdale. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, don't forget to give this episode a thumbs up. And let me know in the comments down below what some of your theories are. I'd really love to read them. Don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, don't forget to hit that bell to get notified whenever I upload anything new. I will be back in 2 weeks with a new edition of The High Five, where I will be talking about five shows on Netflix that you must watch. Until then, I'm the Bandit, and I'll see you again for a High Five.